using Wi-Fi without NordVPN could mean sharing your private stuff with more people than you think. NordVPN. Online security starts with a click.
Find the best cryptocurrency investments, check out Token Metrics, use my affiliate link for a discount.
Viktor Orban, what Rich has been alluding to, is that Viktor Orban passed a state of emergency in Hungary to activate the military and a variety of other things. What it's done is it's allowed him to bypass the legislature because there's a lot of what's been going on in Pakistan is going on in Hungary. Soros and company are coming in with, and the NGOs are trying to come in with large amounts of money to undermine him and buy off MPs to destroy him legislatively, because they're extremely angry with him that he would not go along with the oil embargo and the this and that to all of this stuff to pull the all the Russian oil off the markets that I wrote about in an article a couple of weeks ago. All of these things are related, right? That they want to destroy Russia's oil output by backing up their supply that they're producing within the pipeline system, and to break the wells and force them to shut them down and force the supply chain of oil shipping around the world into a complete mess and hope to take 5 million barrels of Russian oil off the market. Peter Zeihan's out there doing his neocon level best to promote the George Freeman from Stratfor, argument about this. And Orban is steadfastly refusing to go along with this. And everybody keeps thinking that there's some kind of quid pro quo, and Davos keeps and Brussels keep trying to offer him something in return. Well, we'll carve out an exemption for pipeline gas because Hungary gets 65% of their oil, 65% of their oil through the Druzhba pipeline. And Orban's like, no, not at all. None. Slovakia, no. They're not the only ones. So Orban pushing this declaring the state of emergency gives him a number of different options. One, it gives him the ability to absolutely shut down the freaking border, done cold. No Ukrainian refugees if he does not want them. So that means they will come into Hungary only at his request, at his acceptance. Two, it will give the Hungarian military the opportunity, if necessary, to go and claim peacekeeping mission into traditional ethnic Hungarian lands in Transcarpathia, something that I said from the outset of this war the Hungarians would do. It's like the Poles want Lvov back, the Hungarians want parts of Transcarpathia back, and the Romanians want parts of the same area back, and blah, blah, blah. That whole area of eastern Ukraine is going to be wrenched. Yeah. The Hungarians are going to take back some of the land that they've lost. Moreover, the Ukrainians want to try and shut down the pipeline into Hungary by getting Orban to agree to a partial embargo and a carve out for the pipeline. And then the Ukrainians would then turn around and go, well, we have to shut down the pipeline like they did with the gas pipelines going into Germany. In Poland, they did this on purpose after the EU agreed that they would try and shut down the gas. And then the Ukrainians shut down the gas. So, well, we don't control the pipeline anymore, so we're shutting it down. Abrogating the contract, telling Gazprom to go scratch. And all of that was done by Brussels to bring the wayward landlocked Visegrad countries into line. That's what this is about. And this was the absolutely most important move by Orban to do all of this and then turn around and go, you know what? No embargo whatsoever, no energy embargo whatsoever. Get over yourself. Get fucked. Go scratch. No. And the Turks are doing the same thing. I just read this on Zero Hedge. No progress in talks with Turkey over Sweden and Finland joining NATO as the delegations go home, because Erdogan understands the exact same thing about what's going on with NATO expansion. Is that it is nothing more than a cheap provocation to try and create a casus, to try and get the Russians overreact, to give the Brits a casus belli, to then sell to the Americans so that they can bring NATO in and turn this into a full-blown war with NATO versus the Russians over Ukraine. And Erdogan is playing, Turkey is playing this situation perfectly and surprisingly well, and surprisingly reasonably. Well, at the same time, of course, he's trying to take more Syria, but got to take the good with the bad with that guy. There's nothing you can do about that. So this is where I see the state of play right now in all of this. And I think from the moment Viktor Orban won re-election, they have been gunning for him all the way down the line. And they've been trying to figure out a way to get some leverage over him that they lost when they lost that election. And he's not giving it to them because he's not stupid.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing about the Turks, they get like 50% of their oil and gas from Russia. And I think they're also concerned that they get a lot of Turk stream or whatever. So their other thing is this: they want to bring Finland and Sweden in, cause a lot of havoc, and then they're going to start pushing on us, saying you have to cut off your gas and your oil from Russia too. Now that their Sweden Finland stuff is going on, so the Turks are looking at the long stream, the long term, understanding that we're not going to do what Germany and these others, they've got enough economic problems as it is. So they're not going to do what these idiots have done in Europe. That we're just not going to do it. I think the Turks, and I think the thing about Orban too is, I don't think he's by himself. I think the Greeks are with him. There's some other people with him. He's not by himself. So he's speaking, but I think they can't really take him out because he speaks for a coalition. He's just the face of that coalition.
Yep.
And
that's a very good point, Garland. It's a very good
growing coalition.
Absolutely. And you wait, the Bulgarian government is in serious trouble. It's been in serious trouble for months now. And they it's Davos controlled, but it's only there by the skin of its teeth. Okay. And like I said earlier, the Belarusians, Lukashenko's coming off the sidelines here in the next few weeks. If the Poles continue to act the way they act, and like, again, I made fun of them earlier, but Morawiecki, or however you say his last name, that guy is WEF to the core. And you get rid of him, and who's standing behind him but Donald Tusk, who's just as bad. Okay, so if you get rid of law and justice in Poland, you wind up with Emmanuel Macron, the Polish version. This is Donald Tusk, the former EU Commission president. Okay, or former president of the European Parliament. Sorry. They have so many freaking presidents who can keep track of all these fucking people. So that whole area, that whole Warsaw Pact area, former Warsaw Pact area, is under sincere pressure. And the only ones they really have control over are the Poles. And that's only because the Poles are willingly going along with all of this stuff. But even then, the question is going to be, for how long? I don't know. I hope that Orban continues to hold out the way he has. The Turks understand the situation. I know I've seen a lot of noise coming out of not only the Turkish, the Erdogan AKP, but other parties now agreeing that maybe it's time to leave NATO. That's actually the wrong response. I saw that yesterday. That's actually the wrong response. The right response is to stay in NATO. There you have leverage. There you have power. There you have the ability to tell everybody, you know what?
Exactly.
Which the Turks are really good at. And when you put it in those terms, you got like an opposition party in Turkey saying, hey, maybe we should leave NATO. That's somebody getting a friggin' envelope from Victoria Nuland to say that, because they want the Turks out of NATO so that they can then bring Sweden and Finland in.
All right, if you want to follow the rest of this conversation, then please come to my Odyssey channel. And this is because of the censorship on YouTube. You can go to Crypto Rich Odyssey, or you can find the link in the description below.